Hello, Leo. I am Ulrich. I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the Lenormand card reading for the month of September for the sign of Leo. On the table here, you see 9 cards, meaning we will use the 9 card portrait. You can also see 4 objects here on the table, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Leo for the month of September. Now, from these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. Now, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, check the other 3 videos that follow here also. The matches here represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Leo, here we go for your card reading for September 2021. Hello Leo, and welcome to the shell or the water group for the month of September 2021. Before we start, I mentioned it in all groups. Mercury start to go retrograde 27 of September, meaning this is not a good time for signing contracts. This period goes from 27 up to 18 October, meaning also for buying electronics, housekeeping equipment, cell phones, laundry machines. This is not good also because probably there's a warranty involved, and maybe you get problems with the warranty. You didn't read the warranties very well. Anyway, this is not a good period for signing contracts. Also, you will see that your bus is late. Things that like packages that come to you are late. They are delivered in the wrong place. The package in itself is wrong. These are all things connected to Mercury going retrograde. So during this time is not a good idea to sign contracts or agreements. If, however, for some reason you are obligated or you feel compelled to sign a contract anyway, double, triple check the fine print. Probably afterwards, you want that the contract is reviewed. It's not no longer possible. There are things in the contract you disagree with, or you want to get rid of the contract and it's not possible anymore. So double check the fine print. But my advice to you would be not to sign the contract at all. Then we go here with your card reading. The first card is your here that you have. It's your personal card for this month. This is the stars. The stars is an all over positive card. You have a lot of positive cards here. You have the sun here also, but this is your starting card. This card means yes. If you have wishes, if you want things to see fulfilled, mostly for this month, the answer will be yes. Also, it's possible during this period you show a lot of gratitude for things that come in your life, things that are happening for you. You're grateful to them, you're thankful to them, you appreciate the things that are happening for you for this month. But the general answer for this card is yes on all the things that you wish for. The second card here that we see here is the dog. The dog is a colleague, a friend, a brother, people that are close to us. The card here next to it can represent our workplace, or it can literally represent our home. So this means this combination, if you have if you have a lot of colleagues with you working here, the things with the colleagues will go all very smooth. Everything can be worked out. The cooperation is very good with colleagues, also with brothers, sisters. Everything goes very smooth here. There's improvement possible on the work floor. The combination with the team is very good. So these are all things here that are happening in your first line here with these 3 cards. So now we'll do the stars and the dog separately. Here also it means that you have a deep trust in your colleagues, you have a deep trust in your friends, in your brothers, people that are close to you, maybe also a sister you trust. This is fulfilling for you as a person. It's also possible that your friends or your colleagues are very sensitive for you and you are sensitive for them. It's like a deep friendship here that is going on. Also, it's possible that we have a very good cooperation with our colleagues. We do what they tell us and they tell us what to do. And it's like we cooperate very easy with each other here. In another way, if you are into some more into spirituality, it's possible that you are very dedicated to your spirituality. The dogs follows, so it means that you follow your spirituality. If this is connected to a religion, this could represent a religion or a house of spirituality or a church, whatever. This could mean that you follow your religion, the rules that are applied on you, or the rules that are requested from you. This is what you see. It's like you are a spiritual disciple here. Also, you have a deep belief in the friendship, in work, in religion, everything that happens there. So friendship and connection with those people regarding the work or the spirituality is very important for you now for this month, and maybe on the longer run, since the card is a slower house. Then we have the dog and the house in itself. Related to your family, it's possible that your family is more traditional, but you do what the family tells you to, or you follow the family tradition. Also, the neighborhood where you live, you could have a lot of confidence, and then you could feel good in the neighborhood where you live. People also, if there is a problem in your house, they are willing to help you, so you receive a lot of help. And literally, this could mean if you are planning to buy a pet, that a pet literally or a puppy is coming to your house. This could be with this combination also. Then we see here also, if you are brought up in certain rules or certain regulations, from your family, you follow and you obey to these rules. Also, if you ask for help for this month, you will receive help if you do so. Also, it could mean that if a friend has confidence in you, he tells you something, that you keep his secret for you. Then we have the garden, the sun, the garden, and the rider here. The sun is an all over positive card. This first line here is very positive. This is actually all yes and everything you want. This is a very positive card here, very positive first line. Also, I'm going a little bit ahead of things here, but if there would be a problem this month, you have the key here, and the key solves all problems. So this is a very good line for solving problems, for solving issues. But since you have the sun here, it already minimizes the issues that be going on, and you have the stars. So it's a very good line here, as I mentioned earlier. So now we go here with the sun and garden. Probably you are a little bit more in public now, or you communicate with a lot of people. Maybe you communicate online. Maybe you have certain groups that are very important to you. We saw that here earlier. We see that here coming back. There's a lot of communication with certain groups that you are in. You communicate a lot with these people. They communicate with you. It's also possible that messages from these groups come to you, or that you do something in common with the whole group that sets things, that proceeds things, that makes things happen. This is what we see here also. Then we do the sun and the garden on itself. This possibly also there's some artisticity here, that you are familiar with artisticity. This is possible here also. Leo likes, in general, Leo likes being in the public. Also, he likes art in general, things that are related to art, things that are related to public. Leo likes to be in the center of things in a positive way. That Leo is the sun, and the sun shines and likes to be in the middle of things. It's possible here also that you are the center of some kind of event. You are the important person there, and people want you to be there. It's possible this is like a public festivity. Even a barbecue is possible, a party. Everything is possible here, but there's a lot of communication, a lot of public going on here. It's like a social, a gathering, a cheery social event here that is happening. Also, this combination can improve your social standing here. If you do networking, it will be successful. You have all the successful cards here, so this is a very good laying for that one. Also, you want to be in the center. You want to make yourself visible, available for other things. You enjoy networking. You enjoy social media. You are confident, and you are outgoing here also with this combination. here also, it's possible here with this combination that during these festivities or when this public group meetings take place, that there's an announcement, there's a general announcement, and you announce something, or somebody of the group announces something, but everybody knows this already for months, and everybody acts like with awe, but everybody was already aware of this situation for many months. Then we come in the garden and the rider on itself here. Um, During these meetings, there will be public announcements. Maybe you receive also a lot of news due to media on social media. People are sending messages to you. They make public announcement. You get to know things. Positive things are coming to you. Also, the rider is a fast card. If you do something in social network, everything will be handled very fast. This is also here. Also, it's possible during this time that you force yourself to have more freedom. You want more freedom. This is because the central card here is the garden, and the garden is a card of freedom. And here we have the person. The person wants to have a form of freedom also. We saw already the artisticity element. It's possible that you are involved in some artistic plans here. The public will approach you, you will approach the public. If people would come too close to you, or they come, or they intrude too much, are too intrusive on your personality, you will also tell them in a gentle way that you want some distance. This is what we see here also. Maybe because you are a lot in public and a lot of people approach you, you tell to some people, it's I need to have some quiet, some rest now. So it's possible you do this in a gentle way and you take some distance sometimes, especially if you are a public figure. Then we have the third horizontal line here. We have the key, the ring, and the whip. The whip is a quite assertive card. In some cases, it's an aggressive card, but I would say here it's an assertive card, since the rest of the laying is very positive. But what you will have here, you will put a lot of energy. This last line is very energetic, and this line is very positive, and this line is very social. So you can make the combinations yourself. You already know where this is going. So here we have the key and the ring. If you are in some kind of relationship, it means you will make certain promises. If you want a relationship with somebody, it's possible. This person, this other person will agree to you. You will agree to you. And also you will put a lot of energy in this relationship. If the person says yes, you will put a lot of energy, a lot of efforts for that these things things move here. You will put a lot of energy in it. Also, this combination, it will open new doors. It will open new possibilities for the both of you, for the relationship. In a way, it's possible that you are also already acquainted with this person, that you want this relationship, because the key is something that comes back. So maybe you are already acquainted with this person from before. Maybe this person was a friend, and now this friend leads to something else. You want that this friend becomes more than a friend here for you. There are also, if you want agreements or contracts with a certain partner, this is possible also with this combination. Sometimes the key represents contract. So if you want some form of a contract, this is possible also. Sometimes with this combination also, we see a request for a marriage or for an engagement. This is possible also with this combination. If not so, it's like a contract that is possible. If you want a contract or an agreement or an arrangement, this is possible here because the key says yes. And you have the sun and the stars here also. So this is all very, very good. Also, you could, if you go in this relationship, or this relationship you agree on this relationship, you can rely on this relationship. It's solid here. If there would be a problem, you will overcome them, since you have all positive cards here. You will be emotionally attached to each other. You will say yes to each other. We already saw that here. We met this person several times already. Maybe it's possible that this is possible also with this combination, that we more had a friendship relationship with this person. The relationship was more free, and also before, it's possible that this situation or this relationship was already sexual, but now it becomes more. It becomes more sexual than sexual alone. There comes more commitment here, since the ring is a binding element. It's possible also that this sudden comes to you, you suddenly want this, or the other person suddenly. So it will happen very fast here and now. And also maybe it's a wise thing to do if you want that. If you already always kept this relationship a little bit more, let's say, publical or distant, now is the time to do it. This is the right time to do it. You maybe now you finally say yes. And also, if you go in this relationship, even you are in it, there's still a certain freedom allowed for you, because the key is given in our hands, and the key is free. So it will not be actually a confining relationship. There still will be freedom. Maybe that was the issue before. You don't want to commit because you don't want to feel confined. So it's possible here, and you have the key here. So even you can still be free, or you can still have certain freedoms. These people will not confine each other here. Also, you will feel fortunate in this relationship. It probably bring benefits also. Public benefits mostly. Maybe you work together in public, and the benefits will expand. And if not, you will put the energy in them so they expand. This is possible here also. There will certain insights coming to you. It's possible also that you have a very good connection with this person. I always would say there's like a spiritual, personal connection here involved here. So this is a very good combination. It's like finally you both cross the bridge. Also, this card tells you, if you take obligations, even though you have freedom and even though everything goes easy, you need to take your responsibility serious. This is possible also here with this combination. On a personal front, it's possible also that you receive jewelry from the partner, or the partner gives you jewelry. This is possible also because sometimes the ring literally represents what it is. It's possible that you receive a jewel or a ring, or something that you consider yourself as a present. Maybe you receive the key to this person's house, maybe you didn't have before, and this person says, this is the key to my house, you're always welcome. This is possible here also with this combination. You know this person for a very long time. I will go now in the next realm, that this will not be for everybody, but some people will recognize. It's possible that you feel like you are very familiar with this person. It's like it's coming from a higher, something higher. It's like you reconnect out of past lives. This is also with this combination possible here. This is a real turning point for you here in this relationship. It's possible here also that you have a lot of, we saw the internet connections here also. If your partner is not so close, some moments, maybe you have a lot of communication with the internet. This is all solutions, all problems regarding relations are solved. It's possible also that some new contacts come in your personal life to you both. You connect and you both get new contacts. This is possible here also. With the relationship is really gluing because the ring makes things glue. With these two combinations here, the width is a double card. So as I said here, this comes with responsibilities. If you take this commitment, even though you will have a lot of freedom in this relationship, you will have, but it comes, as I said earlier, also with responsibilities. If you make certain agreements and you don't keep these agreements, there will be disputes. So if you make promises to each other, you will need to keep these promises that you made to each other. If you're not, probably some disputes will pop up, and you will not agree with promises that were made before that are not fulfilled. If you have, however, in a business point of view, because we have the house here and we have the rider, so this points also sometimes that we do business in our house, and we have the ring here. The ring represents contracts. So it's possible that, as I said earlier, that you do both something in public. This points to also sometimes to contracts that we make. It's possible that there are some business negotiations, something you both want to achieve, both of you, and you really want this contract. You cooperate with each other, you brainstorm together, you think together how to get this contract for you, because you both will benefit from it. You will unite here. You will unite here for getting this business connection done here. This is what we see here also. If not, you will keep on pushing and working till the contract is in your possession for the both of you. You will also probably see that, as I mentioned earlier, we have Mercury retrograde here now. You need to see also that the contract is correct or it's justified. You need to see it's correct here also, the contract. But if you do, and it's all correct, this will be holding on together. This will be a very coherent contract that we see here. Then we have the stars, the sun, and the key. The stars and the sun here is that probably you have some desires, some wishes, and you will follow these desires and they will be granted. So this is very positive, all positive energies. Also, you as a couple, you will feel each other very well. You will know your limitations, you will know your obligations, and here it suggests to you to follow these things that you promise to each other. It's possible also that you have happy nights together, because the stars is the night, and also the days are happy. So you have a very good combination. There's success here, there's achievement. Also, you have dreams of success. You will go for your dreams, you will put energy in your dreams. Wishes that you had before come to fruition. They come to fruition here. You also feel very connected to the world that you are in. Also, it's possible that some of your dreams come true and you actually have a celebration for it, because we have the garden for it. You put some celebration in here. Then we have the sun and the key in itself. You feel secure, you feel happy. You work, both of you, you work proactive for what is coming. You are proactive people. It's like you are two ducks in the water here. Here, this is like two ducks in the water. And we have the water here. It's also possible that you take some, if you are in a very busy occupation, it's possible also you take a few days off, or you are able to take a few days off with your partner. This is possible also. Here, maybe some short vacation is possible. If you want a short vacation, this is possible also. This will also happen. If you want it, it can. It will be granted to you. Then we see the dog and the garden. There's a lot of communication here with groups. We already saw here. You will follow the group, the crowd, till a certain area. You feel committed to them. You feel committed to the group that you are belong to, or to the spiritual group, or to the religious group that you belong to. or you feel very committed to your job or to your business. There's a lot of support here from community. Friends come to your house. Maybe friends also are related to your business, or your friends are your customers, because here this could represent our customers also. So the customers will have a lot of expectations from your product. They want it to work, because we have the whip here. So you need to see that everything is here in correct orders, because you have confidence here from friends, people who are close to you, co-workers, customers. You have their confidence here. So you need to see that you earn or that you keep that confidence on the long run, because the house works on the long run. You are happy together, you want to help others here with this line, you are supportive for your social network and they are supportive to you, you are loyal to them. Then we have the garden and the ring itself. So this again, this means many social contract. This can also point to that this is like the last night that you spend alone with your friends before you go in an engagement, before the marriage, like the last night that you are single. Here, this is points to this also. This is possible here also if you are with your friends, all man, and the woman is with her friends also all alone for the last night, because you would decide to commit. This is possible here also with this combination. Then we have the home, the house, and the rider. So it means there's a lot of going on in the house. If you do business or you have a work, you will put a lot of action in it, especially with the whip here. You will get things on the move. It's possible also if you make a combination that you move, because here the rider makes things literally move. It's possible that the move that you are doing is not so far. It's like a house next door. So it's probably very close in the neighborhood if you make a move. But it's possible there is a move, but it will be close to the place where you are live now. It's not very far. Or maybe you don't live too far from each other as a couple also. Maybe you live close to each other, but you go to another location that is also close by. Here, then some news comes to you. It's possible also some friends are returning from before. We will adjust our plans if necessary. If things work out difficult, seem to be difficult, you will work on a solution and you will change your plans if this would be needed. It's possible also that somebody close to you or the partner is quite pushy. They try to bring you maybe in a certain environment, in a certain home, and there are certain disputes. You both don't agree to do this. So it's like here you have disputes about this because this person want to express their opinion. They want you to do it like this, that, and like this, and you disagree and you want to go your own way. In your like you both decide how it's done. So there could be some disputes about that here. That is what we see here also. It's best to take some distance here with this person then if this would be the case and go your own way. You can solve this in a harmonious diplomatical way because you have the ring here and you have the key here for solving this problem. So you will need to be a little bit diplomatic here if this would be the case. Then we have the rider in the whip in itself. As I said already earlier, there's a lot of possibilities here for exchanging in the partnership for sexual exchanges with each other. That is what we see here also. If there is a problem with a person that was intrusive to you, since you have the sun here, probably afterwards you will try to make public amends with each other. Afterwards you will communicate, but this person probably need to know his place or he need to be put on his place, and afterwards you will make amends. Then we have the stars, the garden, and the whip. It's important for you also to be in public. We already saw that the public is very important here. It's possible also that you are connected to theater, to something to do with variety, like you are in show, cabaret. Maybe this is a hobby of yours that you express in public. Leo likes to be in the attention, so it's possible that you have this also. There's a lot of connection here. This is glittering, shining theater. Maybe you know some people who are famous, and maybe these people also are connected to you. This is possible here also. You ask here that something is made public, and if they don't, you will insist for it. You want to become more famous. People like you, they are in awe for you that you're doing so well. There's also a lot of ideals in the group where we function in. You will see this as a meaningful thing. Here we see the quarrel again in public, as I mentioned here. You will need to be if there would come a public dispute, you will need to solve diplomatic. If there are public discussions, you will need to solve this in a public way, so this don't turn into aggression, because sometimes the whip makes aggressive. So you will need to play this diplomatic here. If there would come things in public like aggression or people, because you're a lot in public and maybe some people disagree with certain points of view that you have, and this leads to a public discussion that is very heated. So you will need to play the politician then. You need to play the political diplomat for solving this problem. But if this all cools down, it will all work out, because we have the sun here, and the sun is able to forgive things here, especially if you want to make a career, a public career. It's important that you are diplomatic here. It's possible also, if you go in public, this is another point of view, that people come to you and they say in the community, there's some injustice going on. And they approach you for that, and they ask you if you can help for settling this. There's an injustice here, and if maybe that's a public injustice, and they help you to become part of this group for solving this injustice that is taking place here. This is possible also with this combination. Then we have the house, the garden, and the key. This would actually point, if you have a day off, to the hotel itself or a larger building. It's possible that there is water in the surroundings where you are going. Yeah, mostly there's a swimming pool, but also you have access to a lot of water because you have the key here. This points also to entertainment, again, entertainment. Sometimes also, as I said earlier, maybe it's very, very busy, and sometimes you want to take your distance from the public. We see that here again, we are conflicted how much of our life we want to make public and what we want to keep private. This is also impossible. You don't like that your privacy is violated. Everybody has a limit, and here maybe some people are quite intrusive with the whip, and you will need to set borders here with this. Maybe some people need to learn certain social rules. This is possible here also. If there's a family member here involved in this, it's possible that you and this person is harsh to you, you exclude this family member for the time being. This is possible also. Just be careful, if some things you don't want to be disclosed, We need to be careful always what we post on social media. So be careful that you don't post some things on social media. I say this often in the lanes, that this don't come back to you. Be careful what you post on social media, so you have no disclosure of your private things that you don't want to be disclosed of, because we need to be careful. The key is here, and sometimes the key discloses things, so we need to be careful with this. In another way, it's possible that you disclose something to the public, something you know. There's a circle of acquaintances, and you acquire certain information, and you disclose this to public. Maybe this was related to what we earlier saw, to this injustice that is going on. If you don't have a if you don't have a garden of your own and you live in an apartment, it's possible that some friends, they have a property that is private, and they tell you, I don't, maybe there's a small chalet or there's a small house there, and they give you the key there in that quiet environment. Or it's possible it's a property that a white property, and they give you they grant you permission to go there to relax. But I'm assuming there's a house on there also, but actually they give you, the friends give you the key of this building, and you are allowed to go there. This is possible here also, because you have the key here of the house. And we saw already also, if you want your own house, if you want to live together, this is possible also. There's a lot of changes going on here, especially public changes. Something that has been maybe that you kept for a long time secret, in a way, is coming finally out of the bag. This is like the cat is coming out of the bag. So maybe you kept something secret for a long time, and now you publicly announce, but if you announce it, it's possible that everybody already knows. So maybe for you it's a secret, but for others it was already an insight that they had for a long time. Excuse me, Leo, this is all for the water group. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 card readings that are also connected here. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Thank you. Bye-bye for now. Hello, Leo, and welcome to the or the Aerosol group for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting 27th of September, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning this is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, arrangements. Everything you need to put your name on an official document that binds you to it is not a good idea. Also, you will see during that time, traffic is late, you are in traffic jams, your bus is late, your train is late, your flight is canceled, your flight is delayed. Packages that you need to receive are arriving in the wrong place. These are all things that are happening during Mercury retrograde. Also, it's not a good time to buy electronics like cell phones, also for the housekeeping, laundry machines or microwaves. Why? Because there's a warranty connected to it, and maybe some problem with the warranty pops up, or the device inside the box is wrong, or it's wrongly delivered. All these are all problems that are connected to Mercury retrograde. But the most important thing is that you don't sign the contracts. If, however, for some reason you are obligated, you feel compelled, or you have no other choice than signing the contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because mostly after you change your mind, you want to get rid of the contract, you didn't read some clauses in the contract, that you are unfamiliar with certain clauses, you disagree with those clauses, you want to get rid of the contract, you cannot anymore, and the circle starts. So my advice to you would be between 27 September and 18 October, not to sign any agreements or contracts. So starting with your card reading here now for the air group, the first card, your personal card here is the tree. This card means that you probably slowly grow in your life, that you are progressing slowly on. Slowly you come in your path of life, because we see the cross there also. It's possible also that your health is important for now. Possible also, maybe you do some checkups, because we have the fox here. Probably you make some checkups of your body. But in general, this is a positive, neutral card. This card allows us to grow. We grow as a person, and we grow in the position that we are in, or things that around us are growing. Now we do the laying in itself here, the tree and the fox. Before we start, I want also to say here that the fox always, if you are in some form of relationship, we need to be very careful. We need to look around us. We need to be suspicious of what's happening around us. You need to be a little bit like a police officer. Check out if the partner is honest. Sometimes the person close to you or a partner could be half-hearted in the relationship, not really meant. This is often what we see with the fox happening. Now here, on this combination, if you do a health checkup, I mentioned this earlier, it's possible also that if you receive the result, that you don't believe what is in the result. You think it's a misdiagnosis because the result is like something you did not expect. With this combination, it's possible. So it's possible that it's best that if you are not agreeing with the result of the checkup or the doctor or the blood work, that you do a double check. You let it recheck, or you redo the examination. This is advisable with this combination, because sometimes it's wrong. In another way, it's possible that you are a little bit restless, that you have some like maybe you have something that bothers you, or something that is disturbing your health related to your work. This is possible also. If this is the case, you could be making some changes here, because if something out of your profession bothers you, a certain issue out of your work that you feel uncomfortable with, it's possible that you make some changes in the time to come. Here also it means that your body is important for you. You try to keep your body in good health. You will take no risks. Also, there's some physical adaptation possible here, especially here with the stork. Maybe you take, maybe you eat more healthier for the time being here. Also, if you are in your work and you are you are involved in documents, official documents, or something that is or paperwork, you need to see that the paperwork related to your job is not a copy. If you're responsible for some things, just see they are the originals, because sometimes this can point to copies, not originals. So be careful for this one. Also here, we see this here also. Also, if you are suspicious on the work area, maybe there's a reason to. Here, this points to cleverness in the work. It's like you feel there's something going on here in your work, but I think you already know you're smart enough, intelligent. Also, it points to streetwise in the job. Being smart in the job. Also, you have some independence in your work. Maybe you don't. If you don't have independence enough, it's possible that you want to make changes. We saw this already earlier. But things, in a way, if you change, this will probably lead to slow growth. If you decide to make a change, decide to make a move, if you make the move, see that you have everything in place, that you have worked out all the issues before you take the step, because the fox need to be smart, because the fox urges us here to be smart before we make any moves. The fox is like a wise card. It tells us to check all the details, all that is involved before we make the change in another job. You need to be careful here that everything is according to your planning. Then we have the fox and and the stork in itself. This means, as I said here, this is that we literally change ourselves. You change the job. If you are a woman, maybe you had intercourse with a certain person and you think you are pregnant, but it's possible here that you just dodge the pregnancy. It's not the case. Maybe you do the test here and the test tells it's positive, but actually it works out. You do the second test or the third test, and then it works out that it's not the case. This is possible also. It's in line what we said earlier. This could also point that you want to make your own way. You want to make some changes in your life professionally, in your career. And it's like the thing that you really want to do. You want to transform something. And this is the road where you really want to go, because we have the cross here. And this is our path where we need to go. Also here, this says to you, if you make some moves, as I said earlier, you need to assess all the risks here. This comes again here. Before you cross the threshold, you need to see that everything, you have assessed everything well. You need to see that you are equipped for the transformation, for the transition, but the change is probably necessary. It's possible that this is not yet finished. If it's finishes, it's about to finish, then it's possible that it's already going on for a while, because the tree is a slow card, and the stork, the changes, sometimes it comes immediately, but in general, the stork is a migrating bird. So the migrating process, it takes about 3 months before the birds arrive at their final destination. So it's possible that this takes a while before you actually finalize the process. So, but this is already probably going on in your mind, that you want to change something. It's already probably in your head, and you're already possibly making preparations for taking the step. Then we have the man, the mice, and the birds here. We consider the man here as the person card as a neutral card. So you can put yourself there as a woman also. And if I explain things, you can see yourself in here as a woman also, because this is actually a neutral card, except if I say differently, if it's specific like that. Anyway, it's possible here with the man and the mice that you encounter some things that are delayed in your in the time to come. Things go a little bit slower than you expected, especially in the front of communication. It's possible that you don't communicate so much, that you are more in a thinking stage, maybe for taking the steps that are about to come. The mice tend to delay things a little bit. They are like speed bumps that are popping up. It's not very dramatic, but they tend to delay things. Also, if you have communication with certain persons, you need to see that the communication that you have is or people, if people communicate to you, I would need to say it like that, that the communication that you receive, that it's truthful, that everything in there is correct. So you need to double check, especially when we have the fox there. In some cases, it's possible that you are confronted with some personal losses. Maybe something is taken from you. This is possible also. We need to see this also. It's possible that somebody tried to take something that belongs to you here. This is possible also. There's possible here also some discussions are going on. In a way, also we saw the health there. It's possible also that you lose some weight here. This is possible because the mice tend to nibble on us a little bit. So it's possible that you lose weight here. Anyway, you will be working things out in a smart way. If people close to you, if you have the feeling that there are too many discussions and these discussions take energy of you, it's possible, it's better to put on hold to that, because maybe you suffer because of that. If you always have discussions with the same people about in the work area, or some people who are close to you, and you feel that this drains you, it's maybe best, if you can, to put on hold to that. This is what it says here also. Then the mice and the birds in itself. If you are on the work front here, also you could be confronted, man or woman, with some gossip in the work floor. This is possible. It's possible that some things worry you about this gossip. maybe because people gossip about you, you talk less. This is possible also. So it's like something nagging on you. Maybe you are too much worried here also about that. You also will be more alert about, maybe you're already alert that something is going on. Maybe this is one of the reasons why you want to change job before, because there's a lot of back talking here. This is possible here also. It's possible also that you react on it, but it doesn't have the result that you want. It doesn't have the result that you want. Sometimes it's better to play it smart and go your way. Don't lose energy on that. Maybe some people want to put you in a disadvantage here also. This is what we see here also. Or they try to put you in a disadvantage. This could all be connected to the work. Maybe that's why you want these changes. Here then we have the bear, the crossroads and the cross. The bear represents a manager, a parent, somebody who is our guide, somebody who guides us somewhere. So maybe it's possible here that somebody responsible that is close to us is choosing another direction in life. Maybe this person disappears. Maybe this person protected you before, but for some reason he's leaving. He's choosing another career. This is possible, and possibly this has an effect on you, and it makes you make the choices more easier also. This is what we see here also. This could be a person. In some cases, it's also a parent here. This could be a parent also that is changing. There's a change in our parents that they're changing. Maybe they're aging more, they're becoming more older, and you notice the difference. But on the work front, this could be like a manager that is close to us, that is making choices for going somewhere else. It's possible also that you yourself, since the person card is here, that you want to get higher up in life and that you want to become in a higher, more authoritative position. Maybe you have already a lot of experience, you're a long time in your work, or you have a lot of experience in the field and you want to get into a position with more responsibilities, more that you have more saying in the matter. If not so, this would be like a manager here that is choosing another path in his life. Also, if you would come in a management position or in a better position, if this is already going on now, you will be willing to make some certain sacrifices, because the cross makes sacrifices. You will sacrifice certain things in your career for going ahead with things. If you make agreements of contracts and you are not sure about certain things, it's best also that we consult a person that is responsible, that has responsibilities in the field. Maybe if you are confronted with a certain contract and you don't know, it's better to contact a specialist. Maybe there is need for a lawyer or something. If you think about that, it's better to do so, especially with the fox and the cross there. It's best here to take the help of a lawyer or somebody who has authority in the matter. In another way, this could mean, we already saw you possibly are losing weight, probably is here that you exercise more, like you make more exercise, you go more out. Also, you will, if positions will be offered to you, you will be protective about them, because the bear is protection. If you come in this position, in this better position, you will be the one who's in charge. You will lead the way. You will tell people what to do, how to work, because maybe since we have the cross is here, this is the path where you need to go on. Maybe that's why you want the changes there. It will give you more personal strength. It's like here you want to insist to go that way. You want to insist on yourself for going this path, and it's probably the right thing to do. Then we have the crossroads and the cross on itself. If you are a religious person, it's possible that a religious person here, or a mentor, or a manager had a very big influence on your choice of career. This is possible here also. If you still need to make this choice, this poor person is very important for you. He influences you in a way, in the way you make choices. If this is a manager for you, this person has a very big influence in you. The choices will not be easy since we have the cross here. They will be big choices because the bear expand things. So there will be big choices, important choices here. Maybe there are multiple trips involved with this choice. You're standing here literally at the crossroads. This is the crossroads and this is the cross. Literally, you stand on the crossroads from important big decisions in your life here. You are also confronted here how tolerate you need to be and what you need to tolerate and how tolerant you are. It's like here it's like freedom versus responsibility here. This is what we see here also. It's like we are on the lookout for our life task to go here. There could be difficult decisions. The decisions could be mentally, not physically, but mentally painful. If this is about your religion, maybe, or your spirituality, maybe you are going in another direction in that way also. Maybe before you're more connected to them, but now it's like you want some changes on the spiritual or the religious front, if you would be a religious or a spiritual person. This is, of course, the case. Then we have the tree, the man, and the bear. This is a person who's very stable. Man or woman, you are a stable person, you are rooted, you rooted well. Here also we see we want to grow more in our life. In a way also, if you are into healing others, it's possible that you have healing abilities. If you are not aware of that, actually you have. You are a healer, and probably if you go or if you are involved in that, you are actually able to become a master in that area because the bear is the leader. So it's possible if you do something in that area, if you want to change your life direction in that path, it's possible also you're like a natural healer. In another way, it's possible that you are a doctor or somebody in that area. And then, of course, here you have natural healing abilities, but I don't see any studies anymore. So probably you are already, so if you are, this is like a natural healer, this one. You can heal people in a physical way with natural methods. You are a steadfast person. It's possible also in a way that if this is the person card, that as a person you're strongly connected to nature. You like to be in nature, you like to go out, you like to take a walk, you like to be close to nature. This is what we see there also. Since the bear is alone, maybe you take some walks alone in nature. This is possible also. There's like a certain area that you always do where for relaxing. This is possible also. What we see here, it's like you walk there, literally you walk in the forest on your own. Then we have the man and the bear itself. So this could be a person with authority, a person who is strong, a manager, as I said, supervisor. Maybe you're a little bit overweight, but we saw you already, maybe you act in some way for losing weight. But here we see the overweight is possible also. You're a protective person for the people around you. You can provide for them. It's possible you grow financially if you take this step also. These are all possibilities in the card that I'm mentioning here. It's possible you protect people around you. If you are a man, you will protect the man around you. If you're a woman, you will protect the women around you. So this is possible also. You will be a little bit in your work, you're territorial. You will not let people cross certain borders. 15 here. In a relationship, if you are in some form of a relationship or if you have a partner, it's possible with this combination that one of both partners is jealous. This is possible also with this combination. Maybe there is no reason, but some people are jealous by nature. So it's possible that one of the partners here is jealous in the relationship. This is what we see here also. Then we have the fox. But I told you earlier, it's best also that you look around you in the relationship. I don't see immediately any difficulties in the relationship here for like that lead to cheating. But with the fox, we always need to be careful because I mentioned it earlier. The fox is sometimes half-hearted in the relationship. Then we have the fox and the mice. We are here. Again, here you need to be careful that some things that you work on are not disappearing or not stolen from you, especially on the work front. On your work, in your work, that your work is being stolen from you, that they claim your work in an illegal way, that they claim it's yours, but it's actually not. So see that you have duplicates of your work. Copy things if you can. See that you have them in your personal possession, because if your work is gone, it's gone. So be careful here that you outsmart the people. Maybe somebody want to outsmart you and they want to use your work for their own profits. So be careful for this here, that your work is not stolen and that you have copies. It's very important. If your work gradually goes up every day, upgrade these upgrades and see that you have the upgrades also with you, because the mice are details. So see that if you have your work, that you update your work every day. The copies also update the copies. It's important to have the details. If you have a job, probably you need to be very detailed in your work. This is possible also that we see with this combination. Maybe somebody on your work there, they are not so honest. I almost would say there's a sphere of corruption going on, but maybe that's too far. But anyway, be careful here with your personal work. If this is your work and you put a lot of efforts in it already, and it's owned by you, just be careful that you have the copies here. This is important here, because we saw the copies already earlier, the copies. And also be careful if your work is exclusive, that nobody can copy your files. That's the other side. Here then, because be careful that your work don't get stolen. The cards sometimes warn us. So these are things that you are given in advance. It doesn't necessarily mean that that it's going to happen, but you get the warning here. The cards give us clues. Nothing is fixed, but here you already know now. This is what cards do. Then we have the mice and the crossroads. If you are about to change some things as your in your life, in your career, as we said here, there's some delays in your life. We see this here coming back. If you make choices, these choices could be delayed. There could be some delays. You want to change something, but it's like it's delayed, and it's like the delay is fated. Maybe something holds you back for now, and it has a purpose, because it could be if you immediately take action, it's not in your advantage. So that's why now, for the moment, you cannot move. Maybe it's annoying you that you cannot move, but maybe it's in a way it's better, but it doesn't change what I said earlier, that you need to be careful. Then here, it's possible in your work that you experience limits on your freedom, that some people restrict you in some ways. Maybe you want to investigate things more in detail and you're not allowed to do so. This is possible also with this combination. Like people want to limit us. It's best here, if you cannot, that you find alternatives, especially if this is your own work. You need to find a way out of it, especially if this is important to you and if you feel that these details will be important on the long run for you, for moving on with your work, especially if you would be in like a form of investigation, lab or something, and you're not allowed to investigate certain things, just try to adjust the situation the best you can. And if you can the additional work, just do. Be careful here that you have all information here. Also, it's possible, because you need to make certain decisions for change, that it's nagging on your mind. Sometimes it's occupied in your mind like that. Choices could be taken away from you. So you need to work in advance. You need to work in advance that certain chances are not taken away from you here. You need to be smart here. You need to be smart that you can make the right choices in your that are coming on your path here. Then we have the stork and the birds and the cross. The stork is again here we have the worries about we need to change, but you will need to change because it's destined to be, but you will need to wait till the right time. It's possible here also that in a way phone calls are transferred to you and you receive some information. This is possible, and this information is destined to be with you. Maybe the phone call was not originally destined to you, but anyway you receive it, or it's a mail. Something comes to you here. It's possible also that you refuse certain phone calls that are coming to you because you feel this is not your responsibility. This is possible here also. Maybe it has to do with the difficult situation on the work. There could be a little bit of chaos in the work because this is 2 times birds, and the birds tend to be active. So the changes that are coming, making you nervous, stressed, it's like it put a cross on you. The cross can be heavy because it's metal. We carry the cross literally, and all this stress, all these changes that are going on, it put a stress on you because probably you're a very stable person and you're not used to all these changes. You rather would stay as you are, but it's like it's destined to be. And I think on the long run, this will be for the best. This is for the best. It's like it's meant to be. It's possible also that a colleague or a friend that you had before, he's returning. And this already makes you suspicious. And it's like the transformation, the return of this person, it causes chaos for you. Or something in here is that this returning is causing chaos for you. This is what we see here also. It's like it's good for one, and the other gets problems because of it. This is what we see here also. Then the birds and the cross itself. Maybe because you refuse certain things in your work. There's also the gossip could be related to that you put limitations on your work, that you say, okay, I don't do this anymore. This is not my responsibility anymore, because this is about responsibility. And there is gossip about that. I don't say there is action, but that's the reason also probably why you want to change. But you say, I don't want to do it anymore. This is enough. You're expressing the way you feel and the burdens that you have. So you express it. If you're on the religious, if we come back on the religious field, this could point to a lot of communications related to your spirituality or to your religion. This is what is. If some of these things have hurt you personally, if you feel hurt, if you feel pain in your heart about your work or about certain relationships, it will only heal with time. It will take time because the cross asks us to be patient. This is what we see here also. It's possible also with this combination that you pray more because the situation is difficult for you. You go in your faith and you pray more. This is possible also. This is the chaotic situation also. Maybe some tasks you are able to dispose of, but I'm thinking not all. Not all. Because the cross sometimes don't allow us to dispose of everything. but there will be changes in the near future. Then we have the tree, the mice, and the cross. Here it is. It's possible the mice can cause stress and the birds also, but here it's like you're lacking something important in your body. Maybe you lack of rest, maybe because of the stress, this drains you. Maybe it's like your body need more rest, or it's possible that you are lacking certain vitamins, certain minerals. This is possible also with this combination. And it would be something important that you are missing. Maybe even if you do a checkup, maybe it's overlooked in the checkup also. So sometimes it's good that we take general vitamins that include everything, so our body can upgrade itself and we eat healthy. This is important with this combination. It's important here to eat healthy so your body can function very well, so your body can carry the cross. This is important here also. It's possible that you feel a little bit weaker, that your immune system is a little bit weaker with this situation going on. You maybe some days you really feel exhausted. This is possible also, so don't let it turn into a burnout. Take care of yourself here. This is what is said here also. Then the mice, and then we have the mice and the cross in itself. Here we see that you are very on your guard regarding to details and problems. You're very on your guard here. It's like you're fearing something to happen, but I'm not sure that this fear is actually necessary. Maybe it's a fear that is hanging around you. It's like you're scared of something. Maybe it's better if something burdens you that you let it go. With the mice, we are able to let it go and choose another path. This is what we see here. You are able to let it go, to choose another direction. Maybe the problems here, because the mice are small, the problem is smaller than you think. Maybe you think that this is a heavy problem, but actually it's less than you think. This is what we see here. But you could experience the situation as cruel towards you as a person. You could experience this situation as cruel to you. Also, sometimes this could make you, even that if you're a very strong religious or spiritual person, sometimes this could make you doubt your spirituality if your spirit or your God really is still with you. Sometimes this could point to this also. If you were thinking more in closed boxes before, like more strict thinking, it's possible that this also get less. It's like you get here also a better, a higher perspective, because you suffer. Sometimes if we suffer in certain situations because of the cross, we get more experience, and it actually opens our mind. Because of the suffering, we come in another point of view. This is what we see here also. And sometimes the birds here, they bring us clarity. They bring us clarity in the suffering. So this is what we could, it's like it's almost like you feel it. You feel it. This is going to bring you some clarity. It's difficult, but you feel it's bringing you clarity. Then we have the stork, the mice, and the bear. So here we see the transitions again. If you change, see that everything is correct. I mentioned this. Oh, don't feel discouraged. Keep your courage. It's important here with this combination. You keep courageous. You keep your strength. It's important that you keep your strength, and important that you eat healthy. You need to keep your strength now. Even if the situation is unpleasant, you need to take care of yourself. Again here, if you are the one who introduced certain management methods, or you will introduce them. Be careful that somebody else is not profiting from them. This is what we see here also. Then here, you need to be careful also. Maybe somebody is trying to undermine you there, your authority, or they avoid you for getting higher up. Maybe it's all connected. We saw similar things already. Somebody is here, is deceptive towards you. I think this whole situation is not making you feel very well, but it's gonna end because you have all changes here. You see, you have all changes. If the situation is difficult, you don't need to worry here because you have all changes coming here. But the cross is slow. But if the changes come, they will be very important, and the changes will stay. This is what we see here also. Then we have the mice and the bear in itself. You need to see that the people around you, if somebody is above you, that this person is honest to you. So sometimes it's wise that we are smart and we don't share everything, just we share what we need to share. We keep our communication a little bit restrict. It's better we just share what we need to share. We communicate what we need to communicate, especially about work. We just share what is necessary. If you are in an advanced field of your work and this other person is not aware of that, it's better not to share, because maybe he's the one who puts the feathers on his head. So be careful with that one here. Maybe here also, you think of yourself that you are powerless, but actually that is not the case. So don't see yourself that way. You have the abilities here to change and you're going to, so don't see yourself as powerless, because you're actually very good in your job. Just be careful if somebody is above you here, that this person is honest you. They don't run with your work. They don't copy your work. I already mentioned this earlier. So if you want to review this reading, just review it, because it's important you do so. So Leo, for the air group, this is all for this month. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this reading don't fit you at all, it don't apply on you, please check out the other 3 readings that are connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, thank you for doing so, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Leo, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for this month of September 2021 for your card reading. Before we start, I mentioned in all groups, Mercury is going retrograde starting 27 September up to 18 October. It's not a good idea to sign contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes a document. It's not a good idea to do so. Also, you will see that you have more confronted with traffic jams, delays, your train is late, your bus is not showing up, your flight is canceled, your flight is delayed, packages that you are waiting on are going in the wrong direction or they don't arrive at all. This is all connected to Mercury is retrograde. Also, it's not a good idea to buy like electronics or house equipment, cell phones or laundry machines, because these things are connected to warranties and something pops up with the warranty afterwards because it's connected to the contract. It's just an example. Now, if you for some reason are obligated to sign a contract, or you feel compelled, please double, triple check all the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind, you didn't read certain clauses that are in the contract, you want to get rid of the contract and you cannot anymore. So during this period, my advice would be not to sign any form of contracts. Anyway, this being said, here we go with your card reading for the stone group of this month. So here, as your first personal card, we see the fox. This means that for you probably now there's a very strong focus on your job. The fox can be, it's said to us that we have to have a very strong focus on our job, things that are related to our job, to our home, things close to us, things that are important to us. Here it's like we need to think a little bit about ourselves. We need to focus on ourselves. It's important now. Maybe for some people, you will come over a little bit as selfish, but maybe it's important you do now. Maybe it's an important period to do so now. Then we go in the reading itself. We see here the fox and the ship. Probably if you are in business or your work, it's related to your work, it's related to travel, also to money, or you have a strong longing for being in that sector, or working with money or working with travel. Since we have the rider here also, this is 2 times moving, I'm assuming this has to do with something that puts things in the move, but we can put money on the move, we can put travel on the move. Maybe you work for a travel agency and you bring people on the move, but here it says you need to focus on this job and on yourself for your own progress, especially when we have the tree here. The tree is slowly growing, and the anchor here, it wants to make us fixed, more stable. So this is like a little bit a strong focus on yourself here, which is not a bad thing for Leo, because Leo sometimes need to focus on themselves. Then more details from the fox and the ship here. If you travel, it's possible that this travel is for work. If you are an employee, for itself, it's probably possible you work overseas or you work for things overseas. There's a lot of communication, a lot of movement. Maybe things are sent overseas, goods are sent overseas, or you are responsible for sending goods overseas. This is possible also, but it's all related to these things. It's also possible here that you need to convince others for the job, for taking this trip. This is possible also. So this is what would what a person would do who sells trips. So you need to convince others. You need to explore yourself more, your possibilities in this job. You need to see, you need to become more in your job, more, you need to improve yourself more. You can, if you want. This is a very good combination for making necessary changes, for bringing you further in life. Here also you feel a little bit adventurous in this job. If you do some adventure with money or with business, this is possible here also. You will change. If your environment around you changes, you will adjust. If you're in abroad, of course, we need to adjust to our situation. So it's possible there that you need to adjust on the other culture, and this brings some changes for you. Financially, also with the fox, normally this is good for business, but it also tells us we need to be careful with these things. Sometimes if we do business, maybe the other partner is not fully committed to it. So it's like he's half in it only. So be careful for that also. If the fox, if you are somehow connected, committed to a relationship, it could mean in the relationship that the partner is only half-hearted in it. So you need to look around you if this confirms your suspicion, if you have feelings like that. So this could point to that also. So look around you. You need to be a little bit like a police officer here for seeing if this situation is whole or half-hearted. But in general, this points to half-heartedness. Then we have the ship and the rider on itself. These are messages from afar. You send messages from afar, you receive messages from afar. These are foreign messages. There could come foreign messages to you. You are the foreign messenger. In a way, also, this points that you could improve yourself financially. If you are in a certain social group, here you have the possibility to get higher up. You come in another group of the society. In some cases, this points to the jet set community. So it's possible you take a serious step up financially here with this combination. The travel could give you a little bit stress, or it could make you a little bit nervous that you need to undertake. Maybe you never undertaken something like that, or the financial project or the business project is new for you and it causes you some stress. You will make changes here. The changes could come quite quickly. But we need to see that everything is in order here. With the fox, we need to see that all our bases are covered. Foreigners here. It's possible, as I said earlier, that this territory is new for you, where you're going in here. It's like you come into uncharted waters here. A lot of foreign here going on. You get confronted with different cultures. Then we have the ship, and we already had one. We have the tree and the clouds here. The clouds makes us overthink things. So it's possible here in this combination, we think a lot of how we can grow here and how we can get a better foothold, because the anchor is heavy. It wants us to give us a foothold. If you would be transferring over in another country, because you have 3 cards here that point to abroad, you have the ship here is abroad, the anchor, it's a sea, it's anchored, but it can sometimes also relate to abroad, to a foothold. And here we see the mountain. The mountain is often related to abroad. So it's 3 cards here that you have that related to abroad. And here we have the tree. If we see it in a diamond, we can see here that probably you want to get a foothold in abroad. This is possible here, that you grow and you search for a foothold in abroad. It's possible. And maybe here we have the card of destiny here. It's possible it's destined to be. This is what we see here. This is one of the possibilities here. So you're thinking a lot of, about improving yourself on the work floor for the possibilities to grow and to improve and to get more your feet on the ground here. This is what we see here. Your thinking here could be quite quite deep thinking, because the tree is deep and the anchor is heavy. So there could be a lot of serious thinking going on here. Here you could think about if you will actually be rewarded for your efforts, and you probably will if you have the patience for it, because these are slow cards. You will need to be patient. The tree is slow. We cannot move. The mountain is slow. We cannot is big and slow, and we cannot move the tree. The mountain. We cannot move the mountain. It's unmovable. So since we cannot move it, we need to go over it or around it. So it's not moving very fast. The cross is heavy. So this slows things down. And then we have the anchor here. You already get the message here. The anchor is heavy. So these are slow cards. So if you expect a reward of your work, you will get it, but there will be patience connected to it. But the growth is possible here, but it's not gonna be fast here. This is probably something that is set on the run, and it will take some time to get there here. Here we think a lot about it here. It's possible also here that related to your home front, where you come from, it's possible that you don't share everything with people about that, where you come from, that you are a little bit closed about where you come from. There's no specific reason. Maybe it's just your nature. you will need to see that everything here is regularized. If you take certain steps, make sure that all the documents are in order here. Just be careful that the people around you that seem solid, that they actually are solid, especially if you go in a business venture with them, see that they are solid. They are not like shady figures. Be careful of that one here. Make sure, think wisely. Maybe it's necessary you think and you act slow. If the cross is here and it moves slow and it has delays, the cross sometimes is there, it's heavy and it's annoying, but probably it's for your protection. The cross also, it protects us. It protects us for taking certain actions that we better not take. So here, if you do investments or you have investors or you have co-investors, be sure that these people are correct or they are just here. This combination is slow, meaning if this is for business and you set up a plan for doing so, if this is related to business, this could take like minimum 6 months for getting the things on the run before you are sure that this is going through. Don't think that things are not moving. They are, but the ship transport goods, it takes a while to transport goods. The anchor is a slow cart and the cross is slow also in the mountain. So you understand here, this is a slow, secure procedure here that is going on here. But you need to see that you can everybody trust in your environment. If some problems would pop up and it takes a long time to solve these problems, it's possible that you need to find another solution. Sometimes this points to that we need to change direction here. This is possible here also with this combination. If you feel that the situation is too difficult for you and it brings you down, it will make you, in the end, it will make you stronger. You will not see it maybe that way in certain days, but actually it will. It will make you stronger for the future to come. You need to be patient here. Maybe you are a patient type. Some days you will not see things very clear. Other days you will have very clear points of view. Then we have the clouds and the anchor itself. Some days you will also maybe not focus so very well. You will be unable to focus. Maybe in the months to come, you sometimes will lose some form of focus here. Difficult to focus. You cannot see the objectives anymore sometimes, maybe because of the delays. Also, there could be some misunderstandings going on here. You need to work them out if there are. If you cannot solve the problem, go around the problem. Then we have the moon, the mountain, and the cross. The moon and the mountain, the moon makes us creative. Things happen as we think. So I'm thinking here that you are reflecting a lot over things that happening on abroad, or you encounter, because this points to the internet also, or you see things on the internet, or your mind is on the internet and you experience certain thing on the internet and it makes you think. And it's actually what you're thinking, what you're seeing. Also, it's possible here that you think about a lot of things in abroad. Maybe you want to go there. This is where you're destined to be. It's possible also that your job is related, destined to work on the internet. So these are two possibilities here we see, but it's actually close to what we're thinking. Our mindset is actually like that, because the moon is our mind. If we have certain difficulties in abroad, it will be not so severe as we thought it was, because the moon has a way to soften things up a little bit. So it's like it takes the rough edges of the sharp mountain and also the rough edges of the cross. Sometimes maybe our work is not advancing as we would like it to be. If you are in the creative sector, this could, or you have a creative hobby, or you are an artist, this could literally mean you work with stones, with gemstones, you sculpt, you work with heavy objects. This is possible also with this combination. Sometimes maybe you feel very emotional here, and maybe you, for some reason you cannot get out with your emotions. You keep them to yourself. You are silent. You keep quiet. But sometimes also with the mountain tells us sometimes it's wise to be smart, wise to be quiet, wise to be, because the mountain is high. It's a quiet area. So sometimes it's a good thing to be quiet. It's like, I always would say here, it's like a retreat here. We retreat in something, we meditate here, and this could be a good thing to do if there is no progress, that we relax ourselves in quiet areas. This could be here a good thing to do here. It would give you, if you have certain things that block you, or there are certain fears in you, quietness will have a positive effect on you. This is what I'm thinking here with this combination. Some changes will be difficult. If you cannot overcome the object, as I said, wait your time or go around it. And the other way, if you go around it, the going around takes time also. And sometimes the go around takes the same amount of time as you would wait. So we have here, it's like a difficult combination here with these two cards. It's a little bit problematic, these two, but as I said, the cross is often there to protect us. In the end, since the cross is last, gradually your problems will go away. If you wait, the cross will make your problems go away. It will take a while, but that is what the cross do. The anchor will be lifted and you will go on the move again, but it will take some time. This is not all for this month, but you will see similar things happen for you this month, what I just mentioned here. You are able to overcome these things. You are able to. Then we have the fox, the tree, and the moon. Here, the fox and the tree is that we want to grow in our job. We want to improve ourselves. Again, here we see also, if we do some medical checkup here with this combination, sometimes it could be that the diagnosis that we get or from blood work, it's not correct. If you suspect that this is wrong, ask for a second opinion or do a double check on the blood work, because sometimes this gives misdiagnosis, this combination. You will want to take care of yourself here. You will want to take care of your body, and it's important we take care of our body and our health, of course. There will be some physical adaptations here. If you're going outdoors, if you're there on your own in the mountain, I see here also you have a lot of survival skills, like natural survival skills. You can take care of yourself here in the maybe in the wilderness here, or if you are in a remote area, you're like you have natural skills for that. If we doubt about a certain situation emotionally, there's something that says, whenever there is doubt, there is no doubt. So this is what you need to apply here. If you doubt about something and your feeling says it's incorrect, it will be. So you need to trust your nose here, because the fox is the nose. You need to trust your nose and your nose and your senses, because if you have feel that it's going wrong, it's wrong. In the other way, if you have a positive feeling on it, it's the same that is applied here. So here, this is important in this combination. Things are increasing here. This is increased because normally this is increased. This is growth. The roots are growing here. Here the creativity is growing, especially the creativity in the work has an ability that it's growing but it's all a little bit delayed. But there's a lot of creativity, a lot of growth here in our abilities to be creative, to do our work. This is all things that we see here. There are chances offered for us. Sometimes if you feel a little bit stressed also, it's possible here that you go to the closet and you eat some cookies, or you eat more. Here, this is possible also with this combination here. This is what we see here also, then the tree and the moon in itself. This could point, if we are alone, on our own, if we walk, that we think about certain things that happened long time ago, or we think about some things that happened in our childhood. It's like these moments alone make us reflect about the past. Maybe we are a little bit melancholic here, but maybe it's meant to be. Also, it's possible here with your parents or with the people, your family, you think about them, you feel a little bit melancholic connected to them. It's like you want to connect with them, but maybe it's no longer possible, and you think about it, and the whole thing causes like melancholy, like that. Here there's a lot of natural intuition. I told you this already. Trust your nose. Strong sense here that of your biorhythm. You will feel when you need to sleep, when you need to wake up. Then we have the second row, the ship, the clouds, and the mountain. Here we think about profits, how we make more profits, especially profits we want to make in abroad. Sometimes also, if we travel, maybe because of now, it's sometimes difficult to travel with these viruses that are around us. And it's possible if you take a trip that you thought I'm going to arrive there at that time or at that time, and it's probably possible there are some delays. Maybe this is because of the difficult situation now that is still going on, especially in abroad. There are certain protocols we need to follow, and this is possibly connected that, and some of your travels will be delayed if you do so. It's common now that this happens now if we travel, and sometimes we need to go in quarantine. You know the procedure already if you're into travel. So this is what is pointed out here. But anyway, here we see that you want some changes. Maybe some people around you are feeling a little bit sad because you're going. This is possible also what we see here with this combination. Also, if you come in a difficult situation regarding to your job, regarding to investment, regarding to goods that you work with, regarding to goods that you have put on the move, don't be desperate. They will come at their destination, but maybe they are delayed. So keep your focus here. Maybe sometimes it disorientates a little bit. Maybe it's unclear where these goods are. Maybe there's no tracking possible of the goods. Mostly if we order something now, it's easy to track, but maybe the way you want to track the goods, it's not possible. So don't be too much worried. They will arrive at their destination because you have the anchor here and the cross. But as I said, possibly it's a little bit delayed here. Then we have the clouds and the mountain on itself. Excuse me. You will think about ideas to solve the problems. I mentioned that earlier. This is all, excuse me, this points all to the same I mentioned before. The rider and the anchor then on itself. Here, then here, this is the last line. The last line is a better line. It's here that we see that a message brings you stability. This is positive news. In a way, this can point also to things that are moving. Maybe even a promotion is possible. If you receive a promotion, this promotion is destined to be. I told you, if you wait the right time, there will come progress. You here also, you will get reassured. If you are a little bit confused, here in the last line, we see reassurance here. So again, here we see moving of goods here in the last line. Also, this combination, if you cannot move, or your goods, or your business, or your money, or money you work with cannot move, this brings the whole thing back on the roll. And also, once it's moving, you will not be able to hold it back. So if you put something on the roll, it will start. Because sometimes we think, we have the impression that things are not moving, but don't misinterpret things because they are temporary shutdown. Things are moving. But once it's moving, it will, because the rider, he puts things in action, and it's destined to be. If you are if you have something to do with art, it's coming back here. This could be like with old artifacts. It's possible here also that if you work with goods that need to be shipped, or you do some restoration, or you ship restored goods, or you ship older goods here, this is what we see here also. But here, this points very strong to business, very strong to a salesman, somebody who puts things on the move, older things on the move, stable things on the move, putting things on the move with a ship, with a boat, because we have 2 times water here at anchor. So anyway, this is a stable laying. There is progress, but the progress will take time. This is what we see here for the stone group, and it's very applicable to the stone group because the stone is solid, so it applies to the laying here. So it's going a little bit slow. Things on the earth sometimes, and stones move slow. So this is how it goes. Why? Because they are heavy. So Leo, for the stone group, this is all for the month of September. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. It's a fairly positive reading if you have patience. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will apply on you. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Leo, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for the card reading for September, Lenormand card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I mentioned it in all groups, Mercury is running retrograde starting 27 September, meaning it's not a good idea to sign contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes a document. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that time period, traffic is slower, you go in traffic jams, your bus is delayed, your air flight is canceled. These are all things that are connected. Packages get lost, they got wrong delivered, messages you don't receive. These are all things connected to Mercury retrograde. Also, during that period, it's not a good idea to buy electronic gadgets or house equipment like laundry machines or microwaves. Why? These are connected to warranties, and something can go wrong with the warranties. Anyway, the general idea here is to not sign any contracts during the period from 27 September up to 18 October. However, if you are for some reason obligated or you feel compelled to sign a contract, please double, triple check the fine print, but my advice to you is to hold off till this period is passed. Anyway, here we go for your card reading for the fire group for September. The first card we see here is the tree. The tree is a slow card. The tree means we are thinking probably a lot about our health. We take care of our health. We are slowly growing, slowly progressing in our life. People around us, we want to make them more stable. The tree is about slow growth, slow improving ourselves in our life. Then next to the tree here we see the fox. Probably there's a lot going on your work. There's our chances here also for improving ourselves on our work, because the fox represents the work and the house represents the place where we working or the business that we have, if we have an own business. This could also point to our colleagues that we have on the work. If we have colleagues, we need to be a little bit careful with the colleagues if they are totally honest with you, with us here in this combination, or with you in this case. Now we will go into more details, the tree and the fox then in itself. If you are planning some checkup or some blood work checkup, if you get the result and the result is not what you're expecting, and there's some irregularities there, make sure that you do a double check. Don't trust the first you receive. Maybe you do a double checkup, because sometimes with these combinations, it's possible that there is a fault or a misdiagnosis possible here. So if you are not trusting the result that you receive, it's better we do a double check or a triple check, or we redo the whole test. Then here, there's a very strong concentration here on your health. Maybe you want to take care of your body, you take care of your body. Sometimes the house can represent literally our body also. So this line tells us that the body and our body is very important to us now. If you would experience some health issues over now, I would not worry too much, because the last card you have here is the sun and you have the stars. So these are all very protective cards. So probably it's if something is going on with you health, like, it will not be very dramatic. It will have a good ending. So don't be too worried about it here, because in general, these are positive cards, especially with the sun here. Here also you think about yourself. We already saw that. You will take no risks. You will take care of your body. You will make some physical adaptations. It's possible also sometimes, if you have a heavy job, we need to rest sometimes. Don't forget about we need to rest. We can work hard, but sometimes also we need to rest. If you are working with documents, with official documents, or documents are coming to you, or documents are important in your life in somehow connected to your work, just here with this combination also, we need to see that the documents that we are working with are the originals, and that we are not offered copies, or not originally. This, you need to be careful here that the documents are official here, that they are regular and that they are not copies. In your workplace, if you want to get a promotion, it's possible also that some colleagues, you have the feeling that they compete with you, and probably this feeling is correct. Probably this feeling is correct. There's some competition on the work going on here. This is possible. You're getting more defensive maybe towards them, because maybe you want the promotion also. You will be working hard. Maybe you do some untraditional approaches towards it for getting the promotion. You will play it clever, so you come in a better angle to get certain promotions or certain growth in your life. Your chances here are increasing. If you are stressed, probably you are more easy to eat. Maybe you take more a cookie or whatever, more easy to eat here. This is what we see also in this combination. As I said, try to rest also. I know the importance, the promo is important for you, but also don't forget we need our body to function here in this combination. Then we have the fox in the house in itself. Here, the fox in itself, I will mention the fox separately now. The fox, if we are in a relationship, it means that the person that we would be related to, he's not totally committed to it. I don't mean there is cheating, but I'm saying it's like he or she is half-hearted in the relationship, not totally with their heart in it. This is what it means. Towards colleagues, they are not open-hearted to you. We already saw this earlier. So we need to be careful here that these persons around us or that are close to us, that it's not more like friendship-like than it's heart-like. Even though we have the heart here, but with the fox, we always need to be careful. But we go further in the reading, and as we progress, we will get more information. Then we have the fox in the house, more in here. For the moment, sometimes also, it could mean maybe that you're thinking about making a move, some changes in the house. Maybe you're not happy with the place where you live. If you, it's possible also that you want to work out more. So for giving your body a different look, this is possible also with this combination. If somehow you still live with your family, it's like you want to make some changes in that area. It's like you're not very happy maybe with your family conditions. Maybe it's all very strict, very ruled. Maybe you want some changes here in that area. Maybe you want to take care more of yourself, or you want to be more alone. Maybe because we see the tower here and sometimes the tower likes to be alone. Maybe you want to be more yourself because the sun is ourselves. So maybe you want some changes in that area of the home environment. Maybe you want some changes and you're thinking about moving. Maybe the situation there is not as you like it to be. You don't agree with certain situations or certain rules and you want to move out. It's like you could feel like you are always put in the defensive position and you don't like, you want to be more yourself. Also, you could be a little bit things going on in the house there. You could be suspicious about certain things. But here it's important we take care of ourselves. And if we are not happy, we go our own way, if that would be possible. And if you are ready for that financially and mentally. Then here we have the dog, the tower, and the stars. The last line here is a very, very positive line. So the end of this month or how things will work out is very positive. So starting with that here, the dog can mean our colleagues, friends, peers, people who are close to us, sisters, brothers. It's possible in that areas, you are the one who becoming a little bit more distant towards them, maybe towards colleagues, but also possible towards brothers or sisters. It's like they or you create a certain distance, but I'm assuming it's you here who create a certain distance. Maybe you want to go in another direction, you want to make your dreams come true, and you want to create some solitude for making your plans, for making your plan on the long run, because the tower makes plans on the long run. It sees in the future because it's I, and it makes its plans for the moves that we want to make in the long run. So maybe it's possible, if you want the promotion, if you want certain steps in your life, you take a little bit of distance with people close to you. It's possible also towards friends that you take a little bit of distance. I don't say you're going to exclude them, but here you take some distance for taking certain steps in your life because you have certain dreams, certain hopes, certain wishes you want to fulfill. This is what we see here with this combination. Also, even though the there may be a form of distance, you will keep certain structures there. It's not that the friendship is going away. It's like also only it becomes more structured at certain times and a little bit more distance. Then here, if you are in your workplace, in a way you are loyal to the authority, but maybe you want to progress yourself more, but in a way you're loyal to the authorities, to the rules, to the regulations that are put on you, and probably it will be have a positive effect if you do so, if you follow rules and regulations. This is what we see here in this line. It's possible also that some close relationship of you, maybe a relative of your wife, like for instance the mother-in-law, she helps you for getting ahead in life. In a way, she could be connected to it, or she could offer some help in that case. But anyway, it's a person, an older person here who is close to you that could help you here. This is a possibility only that could help you to get higher up. If not so, this could mean that a brother or a sister could help you to get in a higher position. Here, this, even though maybe we have some distance toward them, they could help you for achieving a higher position, and probably it will work out because you have the stars and the sun here. So you will obey to the rules, the regulations. If you work for the government, it's possible here also you follow the rules, regulation from the government. It has a positive effect. You will comply to the rules, the regulations. In some cases, it's possible that you disagree with some things, and then you will say no to some things, and even you say no, it will be accepted. This is what, but I'm not saying you disobey the rule, but for some things you will say no. Here also, this is possible. Here, everything is possible. Even if you ask something, it's granted. But here, it's important with this combination, if we do something, if we want to obtain a certain result, the dog is about permission. So if you want something, it's better, especially with authority, with rules, we ask permission. And if we ask the permission, it will be granted since the stars are here. So if you do something, don't act on your own. Ask for it and you will receive. This is what we see here. The answer will be yes. So don't act on your own. You can focus on yourself, but if you are close to breaking rules, ask permission. Ask permission and it will be okay here. It's possible that you support others here. It's also possible that a brother or a sister, you support them because the tower comes next. So you support a brother or a sister and it has a positive effect on you and on them. You are loyal to your boss. And if you ask permission, you will get yes. We saw that already. Then we have the tower and the stars in itself. You want, here we see clearly that you want to get a higher position because the tower is high and these are the stars. So you want to get there. It's important for your personality that you get a promotion, that you get higher up. The tower is in the stars. So you wish, you hope for that here. There possibly, if you are a hobby like, it's possible also that you have a hobby related to the stars. You have something to look at the stars, a device for looking at the stars. In another way, it could mean, or it could point to that you have abilities here for astrology also, for things that are related to the other realm here. This is what this points also if you are into that. Also, this could point to meditation, that you put a lot of energy in meditation, that you follow certain health regimes for your meditation, for relaxing your body. This is what we see here also with this line. In that case, you will follow the spiritual authority for getting you in your state of meditation that you want to come or you want to be, and probably there's some food patterns connected to that. This is possible also. You believe in this spiritual goal, and it could cause this spiritual goal, if that is the case, that would be applying on you, that you detach a little bit from people. But if we meditate, we detach. So here there is a form of detachment also possible. Then we have the heart, the whip, and the sun. The heart and the whip, if we have a certain lover that is close to us, we already saw that the person close to us or our lover, excuse me, could be half-hearted in the relationship. Maybe they're a little bit distant towards us. This is possible also, that you feel a certain coldness of the person. And maybe it's possible that the relationship has turned more into a friendship, like that. You feel it more like a friendship. If you are in the start of a relationship, it's possible that out of the relationship, there comes more than friendship. So the two are possible here depending on your situation. This is friendship that turns into love. There are strong roots. Even if the relationship is more distant now, there are still strong roots. But something in this relationship makes you suffer. It makes you suffer. Maybe there's a distance with this person that is your friend or lover. There's some distance created for some reason. It's like you cannot be too close to each other, and in a way it makes you suffer. Maybe it's because you work a lot that there is a distance, or the other person, she or he works a lot. This is possible also with this combination. This person is ambitious. He wants to achieve certain goals in their life. And because of that, it's like friendship, love, friendship, that you do not clearly exactly know where you are. It's like both our components are here in this lane. Anyway, there's a form of suffering here that we see with this combination. Then we go in more details. Where are we here? The tree and the dog. This is a lasting friendship, a friendship on the long run. Then we have, there's a strong connection here also with your brother, with your sister. You're deeply connected to them. And also, even though there might be some distance with them temporary, there's you really like them because your heart is here. Your heart is here. Also, some friends that you have are very close to you. Some friends that you have, they are really dear to you. You are dear to them. So you're close to each other. You help each other. You give each other the helping hands. In another way, on the profession here, we didn't mention that here, but we already mentioned the spirituality here. It's possible that you are in an aiding profession, because sometimes the tower can represent hospitals, clinics, people of places of healing. So it's possible also that you are a nurse, a doctor, somebody who helps. But this would point more to a nurse, somebody who actually directly helps here. This is possible here also, but it's possible that you have healing powers here. You help here a lot. You help the people, you please them, you want to help them so they get better. I think here you're more in a helping role. Then here, you do some things here that support your own health. You will take care, you literally take care of your heart here. So some things related, you will take care of your heart. You mean it well with your body. Somebody also can guide you for getting your body in good condition and health, a healer or somebody who's close to you, where you have connections with. Then we have the dog on the heart on itself. Here, if you have friends to you, you are compassionate towards each other. This is what we see here also. There's a lot of loyalty in this relationship. This is a love and friendship relationship of both. Also, you depend on these persons and they depend on you. And here it's possible that you fall in love with this friend, and that this friend becomes a lover, but it's difficult. It's difficult maybe because of the ambitions that you both have. And this is like, again, this points to a caring profession. Then we have the fox and the tower. So again, as I said, take your time to observe the relationship. If everything goes there, if everybody's heart is in the relationship, don't be over haste also. If things would go not according to your plan for the relationship, don't take over haste decisions. Take your time. The tree is slow. You need to take your time now. You need to take your time. Don't take over haste decisions. Even if you are in a difficult period with the lover or with friends, don't over haste it. Let it your time. Let it rest for a while. This is what we say here. The house is slow. The tower wants to take its time. He wants to put everything in order. So do so, because this is what advised to you here. Again, here we see that if you are in the helping sector, this is a job that is considered to be in high buildings, big buildings, working for the government, like nurse, doctors. This is what we see all here with this card. Here, also here, this points to if we are confronted with legal documents, we know what to do. So if some legal documents are coming to you, you will exactly know what to do in that case. Maybe you are familiar with official documents, but it's like you have some certain street wisdom here with official and with legal documents. In a way, if somebody puts you in a difficult situation, somebody who is in charge, here there is a possibility that you outsmart them. If somebody brings you in a difficult position in your work or in the organization that you are in, you will be able to outsmart them. But maybe you need to take fast action, but you are able to here. This is what we see here also. Here, sometimes this profession could make us a little bit lonely. Maybe sometimes you need to work in the evening or in the night, or the shifts are changing. This is, it could just directly connect to nurses. They change shifts sometimes. This is what we see here, or people who are in some professions for help also. In some cases also, this can point to somebody who works in a prison as a prison guard. And then this card would be like you are the one, if they don't behave, that you need to report to the authorities certain misbehaviors. This could be the case also here with this combination. And maybe you can make a promotion there. And this could mean the distrust, then it would not apply on the colleagues, but then this would be the distrust that you need to have in your job, maybe regarding the inmates. If you are an authority figure, we need to be cautious, of course, if this is our role of authority. Maybe we need to fill in certain documents and people misbehave. This is what could it point to also, then we need to report, of course, in a way, those people if they misbehave. This is what we see here also. If you, for some reason, don't feel comfortable in that job and you're planning to go out, if you're planning to go out of that kind of position because for some reason you dislike that job, the steps that you are taking, maybe if this represents the work, if you ask permission for a change in the house, because this is the house, if you ask for a structural change in the profession that you are momentarily in, this, and you ask for permission to your boss, this permission will be granted. If you want in the same house, in the same work, to be transferred in another position, this will be granted. And if you ask it, but you need to ask it. They cannot smell it. You need to ask for it. There's a lot of administrative work going on here if you're involved in that. Sometimes you need to play a punishing role. We already know that if you're in that kind of profession. Here, some people could challenge your authority in that case here. This is part of the job, I'm assuming. Then we have the house and the stars. It's possible, this is another realm where I'm going in now, sometimes I touch these topics. This is possible that your relatives, like you feel things coming, like you cannot explain, but you feel something's coming. You feel, for instance, if people behave in a certain way, what is going to happen? It's like you feeling. And this is not only you, it's probably something that is connected to your family members. I think several people in your family have this also. So you feel like what is going to happen. It's difficult to explain. Sometimes you have very clear thoughts what is going on and what is going to happen. So this is, we could see here with this combination also. In another way, another point for seeing is it's possible that you come out of a family that is quite famous. They have, or their relatives were fairly famous. It's like there's some fame in the roots, in the generations where we come from. These people were maybe famous because the son was here also. So you have the same abilities if you would want to go in that area here. You could go also, if you want, in the sector of the entertainment. If you plan something like that, but you need to plan it structural, then you will need to learn certain structures and they will not be easy to learn. If you want to go in that field, you can go also there. This could also be for you. Your relatives could have some fame. We already saw that here. You will obey certain rules, regulations. Some things that come out of the family you respect highly, you have respect for. You think in a certain pattern over your family about certain traditions that you have. It could give you meaning in some ways of your life. Also, sometimes here with this combination, we can idealize our family with this. We're thinking that we come from the ideal family. Then we have the stars and the sun of itself. You have a strong desire here for following your dreams, your hopes, the place where you want to go. Also, this points to a person who has natural intelligence here, this combination. You could be successful if you're planning for something in the field that is in your mind. So this is possible also. If you go in your, it could also point to success in your work, but if you want to achieve another form of career, you could be successful in what is in your mind, what you're hoping for. So you can make your wishes come true. Don't get stuck in structures if you have other hopes or other dreams, because also these are possibilities for yourself that you can manifest here. You can make literally your hopes come true here. You can make your dreams come true. Then we have the cross, the tree, the tower, and the sun. Yeah, again, we come in the help sector here. We already saw that meditation centers again. Here again, that we are sometimes need time alone. We saw this already. Sometimes you will maybe get annoyed from the bureaucracy if this is related to your work. But if you fill all documents in according to the right procedures, it has a positive effect. Even if you dislike, sometimes it has a positive effect. So even if you dislike, sometimes it's positive to keep everything according to the books. If you are planning on a travel, and just mention this also, it's possible that because the tree is slow, the tower is a slow cart also, it's possible that certain destinations, certain countries, certain borders you want to cross, probably it's a sunny area if you want to go there, it's possible that this stays closed for another 6 months. These are two slow carts. So this is possible, maybe due to the viruses that we are confronted with. Maybe this is connected to you and you're planning, so you have maybe hopes for going there. But I think here we see 6 months minimum here. I don't want to take away your hopes because the sun is here, it will come true, but it will take some time. It's like certain rules, regulations need to become more flexible. Sometimes the governments, they can be strict, apply rules, but you have the right to have hope because it will work out well if you let it the time. Here also these two cards, if you are an employee, this points to promotions higher at a higher age. So if you are an older person already and you think you can no longer get the promotion, you're wrong. You're wrong because you have the sun here. If you're already a long time in your job and you think you're too old for certain promotions, this is not the case. You will get the promotion even if you're older. Some people, their course of life is later. And here we see an older person that gets a promotion later in life. It's like you shine later in life. If you are still younger, most of the promotions will come later on in your life if you work according to a certain structure. The promotion can come between 60 and 75. I know it's a very far-fetched, this one, but this is what this combination is pointing to, or you are a late bloomer. This is what we see here also with this combination. We already saw there's some connections from health here that comes out of our relatives. We see this here again. Here, maybe your family is connected to spiritualism. This you can connect easy to the other side. This is again in the other realm that we are. Here also, in another way, the fox is a very smart card. And in a way, this points to a person that has expertise in his field of work. These are really the experts. So it's possible in your field of work that you have a lot of expertise. People come to you for the final approval. You are the one who says go or don't go. They come to you for the expertise and you give the go. This is possible here also with this combination. If certain positions are offered to you and you don't feel up to it, even a promotion, and you don't feel up to it, you can say no. And even if you say no now, it's possible in the future that the same position is offered to you again. So this is what we see here also. You can say no. It's not always to say no to a promotion, but maybe you have certain reasons why you want to, but it will be offered to you again in the future. here also some visibility. You feel here we saw this already. Also, I want to mention here, if you feel tired, sometimes we need the necessary sleep if we work hard. Then we have the tower and the sun here on itself. This points, because we have the fox here also, this can point to a fixed career for the government. In some cases, these three can point to a career in army, police, government. These are government officers. So if you have a career there, it's possible that you have a career that is slowly going up if you're younger, but this is slowly going up. But in the end, you will come out with in the high position. Here, you achieve certain standings, high status on the long run. In a way, also, if you are connected somehow with abroad, it could mean that you have certain expertises related to abroad. This is what we see here also. The tower is an expert. So it's possible also, it's like an expert for crossing borders here. This is what we see here also. This could mean physical borders and non-physical borders here that we have. Then we have the other cross, the sun, the tower, and the heart. These are positive messages that come to you, structured messages. Messages come to you who you really like. A message that comes from afar, maybe from across the border. This is possible here also. If you have a house, I want to mention this also, I didn't saw this earlier, but I already said here, I mentioned before, probably you take some time off in nature sometimes. This could mean also for the future that you like that your house is not in the crowd. Maybe you're looking for something in the future, or you have a house that is more alone. It's like a house in a quiet area, this one here. This, we see a house in a quiet area. And if you have a house in a quiet area already, you feel very happy there. If you don't have, this is probably something you want. It will require the necessary energy to get one, but if you want one, it will have a positive effect on you. Your home will be your castle there. Sometimes also, if some things in our family are not going according to what we wish or how we like them to go, this could point to that we take some distance, some time off with our family. We put in a break with our family. It's possible here. In another way, it could mean that our relatives, they are spiritually high spiritual. If this is on the other realm front, they are spiritually advanced. If this is on the earthly front, this could mean that our parents are high-placed people. They are high-placed people, and they like to be in that position here. This is what we see here also. Also, it's important if you want to get somewhere in your life, if you're still younger, that you always use a plan. Plans are important here. The tower likes to make plans. Again, here with this combination is typical for a person also who can enforce rules. This would be your work, and you will be the one to enforce rules. And even sometimes if you enforce rules, people will understand. They will understand that they need to follow the rules. They will follow the rules. Maybe sometimes it's not easy for you. It's maybe against your heart, but it's how it is. You are the one who is enforcing some rules here. On the love life, we see again before, it's possible there's some distance with the lover here. We see this here again because the tower creates distance. It's possible also that our partner or we are high placed. This is possible. It's possible that both are very ambitious here to get higher in life. In some ways also, it could point to a partner who comes from a different culture or who has a different skin culture or who has a different origin here. This we see here also with this combination. If you are in a mature age already, we didn't see that point of view yet, it's possible that because the tower is something out of the past that comes back. So it's possible if you're in a matured age already, that you had a lover when you were younger, and this person reappears in your life. And it's like an old flame is start to burn again. This is what we see also here in this combination. It's possible that there was a separation between the two of you, and for some reason this was a structural obligation to separate yourselves, but it's like now this door is going open again. So it could have been many years since you saw each other, but I think here the flame is still there. This is what we see here also. So this is ambition again on the job then. It's possible in the job, if you're in law enforcement, you need to keep certain structures. You need to keep structural. If you are in the police office, you need to keep to certain rules. Not every cannot explain everything. Also in some government positions, we cannot explain everything. We cannot share everything. This is what we see here also. If we have a child, I want to mention this also, if we are still in the position that we have children, it's possible that our child has very high emotional needs. We need to attend them very emotional. It's like this child requires a lot of attention, a lot of emotions. So it's important to do this, to share this with this child, that we pay attention to them. Even if the job is heavy, we need to pay some attention here to the child here. It's important that maybe the child is in an important stage of his life for receiving love, for receiving those emotions. So it's important that you take some time for giving them the right emotional need here, because it's important for the further development of the child. If you are already higher in your life, it's possible that you never or very seldom show your heart, because some structures in some positions require that we stay alone. But it's possible with this combination also that you let some protocols slide and you want to help somebody here with this combination. This is possible. Maybe it's not easy and it will cause you some trouble, but eventually it will work out well. This is what we see here also with this combination. If you are confronted with politics in your position, or politics is connected to your job, you need to be careful also with this combination, because sometimes politicians are in it for themselves. We see this often, and they can make certain commitments to you, but sometimes the commitments are half-hearted. I mentioned this before. This is what we see here also. So be careful here with this, because some of these people may be connected to you, don't mean it very well. They think about their own egos. So be careful that you don't come in a compromised position. This is what we see here also with this. Here sometimes also we could have that somebody, that there you have some like a secret admirer here, a secret admirer. We see this also with this combination. Maybe this person is not open for it. If you're single, it's possible that you have a secret admirer. This person will only come out and share these feelings if he or she thinks it's the regulated time, because the tower is regulated. It's an odd thing to define like that, but that's how it is. You're happy where the house that you are living. Maybe it's possible that you live in the house of your parents, your grandparents. This is possible, and you like where you live. Even if the house is already older, you feel good there in the house. We already saw here that it's possible that you cross some limits that you would not have crossed before when you do something out of your heart. We see this coming back here with this last combination. Even though you come out here and you help others, there will still be some calculation. It's like a calculated help here also that we see here. You will help them, but still there is some calculation, because mostly the tower is calculating, and the fox is smart. So it will be from your heart, but still there will be a calculating. You will not take overly risks, but anyway, there is some danger here that still something comes back to you. So that's probably why you calculate the risk. It's like risk calculation that you do. But I think you want to help this person that is in trouble there. Here also, it's possible that if you're in a higher position, that for now it's important, an important lesson to learn, that you learn the balance. If you are in a higher position, you need to learn the balance of this high position, what you can do to help others and cross the borders of your heart or allow the borders of your heart. This is what is mentioned here also with this combination. This is a possibility here also. If you are in a certain authority in your work, it's possible that it's demanded from you that you show your heart and you need to learn this balance. So, Leo, for the fire group, this is all. I hope you liked this card laying. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are also here connected to the video. Thank you for doing so, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now, and thank you.